Hey, so today we're going to do something really easy. I had a comment that, maybe do something simple in Grasshopper, so we'll try to achieve that today. So let's type in Grasshopper right away. And we're just going to start out with a circle. We'll just start out with that, and then we'll just type in a number after double-clicking in Grasshopper. We'll just try out 15 for now for the radius. Pop that out. Okay, and then from here, what I want to do is type in divide curve, and let's type in 15 for now. So from here, we're just going to type in dispatch, plug that into here, and dispatch basically just separates it into two lists, each one of those points, and then what we'll do is just type in move to the B. Let's type in a Z vector to move them up. Let's give it a number, just like so. All right. Okay, so we'll move it up 5, and then we need to weave them back together, just like that. And then we're going to type in interpolate, and that'll be an interpolated curve. And then we need to right-click on the K to make it closed, or the P, sorry. That'd be true. And so basically what you're going to end up with is something like this. So odd numbers are going to start to make one of the curved segments at the end come down. So if we keep it to even numbers, and just by double clicking, we're able to do that, and that'll make it all uniformed, okay? Or uniform. Okay, and then from here I'm just going to type in scale non-uniform, and we're just going to make it bigger in the X and the Y for now. And if we want to do a little bit of variation in the Z direction, we can definitely do that as well. Maybe we will in a little bit. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is just kind of make it a little bit larger, and then we're going to type in Loft. Go from here, and holding Shift, we'll go to the interpolated curve. And that'll create just a lofted surface that's just kind of up and down, undulating. Then from here, all I'm going to do is go to the lunchbox command tab, and then we're going to go to hexagonal. Plug that into our surface there. We're going to give it a couple numbers. So I'm going to type in 15 for the U's, and then we'll go lower on the V, I think. Let's do like 2 maybe, or 3. Actually, we'll do the opposite. We need to, let's see here, go here, bring this up, then we'll increase the V. Get kind of a nice patterning happening rather than it being kind of elongated hexagons. Okay, I'm just going to turn off all this or hide it. And then from here, what I want to do is move each one of the centers or the center points up randomly. We're going to try to create almost like a island kind of mountain kind of landscape thing. So we're going to need a Z vector again. Go ahead and plug that into the T, and then the list of numbers, we need to count out how many are in, or the number of hexagons. We need to have that counted so it knows in the random battery how many different numbers it needs to generate. So next we need to construct a domain right here, and I'm going to just type in 5 for now for the first value. Maybe we'll do 5 for the larger value, and we'll do something lower for the second one. We'll just plug that right into the random box. Okay, and then from here, what we're going to do is type in extrude to point, and basically we're going to extrude each one of those cells to the points we just moved up. And you'll start to see we're generating kind of these little mountainside things parametrically. I'm going to lower that to 2. Okay. And obviously we're able to make more or less of them. I'm going to leave it relatively low so it looks a little bit more authentic. Okay, and then I'm going to type in mesh. This will basically make those poly surfaces into a mesh. We're going to join them all together. Flatten that out. Then we're going to use Catmull-Clark. Okay, just to smooth it out just a bit. Just like that. We can turn off all this stuff. basically we're just kind of making kind of a weird landscape. So, and then from here, I might give it the L, or the smoothing algorithm, a 3. And let's see what the mesh is starting to look like. I don't want it to get too crazy. It looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll leave it as that. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give this a little bit of structure. Okay, so I'm just going to copy and paste those centers down, and we're going to increase the number on each one of these. And we're going to type in line and go from the centers for the point A to the point B. And what we need to do is give it a negative number. Plug that into the random box. Okay. And actually, I'm going to make it so there's more structure than what we're showing right now. So I'm just going to copy and paste that down, and we'll plug that into here and that into here. And then we'll just increase the number on the U and the V's. Just like that. Then we'll type in mesh pipe. Actually just pipe. Just like so. And we'll give it a really, really small radius, so these look almost just like stilts. Just about like that'll look pretty good. I'll just type in join. And we'll flatten that. All right. Then from here, I'm just going to bake out that. That looks pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to bake out our Catmull Clark, and we're going to do kind of something a little bit different. We're going to increase the actual landscape, the peaks. This is going to be a rock layer for us, so I'm going to bake that out twice. And then another thing I'm going to do is bake out our initial loft. Okay, if we go to shaded, I'm just going to lower down the basic loft. Just like that, so it's not intersecting anywhere else. And let's just start giving materials to each one of these. So we'll go, this will be rock for now. This is going to be, let's say, grass for now. We need to be able to see kind of grass in there. So what we might want to do is just raise it up just a bit. Okay, that'll start to create, rock into grass. And so for when we're going to render it, it'll all make sense. And then from here, what I'm going to do is just select the loft edges, holding Control Shift, and with our gumball, I'm going to hold Shift again, and we're just going to extrude them. Maybe not that far. Just a little bit. That's going to give us a nice border, so we can kind of hide some of the edges that we created. Just like so. And it's not going to be perfect, but we'll try our best to get it to look like it's just kind of covering everything. That looks pretty good to me. And then to cover up where those little stilts are, all I'm going to do is just offset surface on each one of these. We'll flip them around, and we'll give it a distance of, let's say, just about like that, just to cover up stilts. And we'll make that a different layer. And then our stilts, we can basically just make it another material layer. Awesome, so that's pretty much it for the Grasshopper stuff. And we could do this next part in Grasshopper, but I'm just trying to add more detail into here. So all I'm going to do is hit Alt and scale this down. What I want to do is just rotate it, so it looks like the peaks are coming in and out. And we'll do it another time. 3s always look better, or odd numbers always look better than even. We'll do the same for in here. So we're just making pretty much just a kind of a weird island thing. So from here, let's make a relatively simple landscape. So bounding box. This is going to be our ocean. popping through here. I'm just going to make it quite a bit bigger than our actual model. And so that'll be our water layer. Okay, and then we'll just copy it down for the sand layer. I'm not going to go too deep, so we'll go sand. And we are all set for Lumion. All right, so we're all in Lumion, and it imported really quick because it's a light model. So let's start adding materials out. So this would be the grass, like we discussed earlier. Do 3D grass. Let that kind of puncture through. That's looking great. So even parts that really start to stick out of the model, I think that's awesome. We're going to turn down the actual size of the grass. We can make it long. Size, we could leave it around there. Let's do some rock. I'm going to make it kind of a mossy rock. We'll up the scale. Awesome. And then let's mess around with the metal. Yeah, let's do various aged bronze. Awesome. Maybe we'll just leave this kind of off-white. So that looks great. Let's change the water up just a bit. I want it to look a little bit more oceanic. There we go. That might be a little bit too blue. This looks better. Let's see if we can get some more foam happening. Maybe the wave height's a little bit bigger. Wave scale maybe slightly bigger. And the caustic's big. That's cool. And then the sand, forgot about that. Sand layer on there, and we'll go something with like this. I'm going to increase the scale. Looking good. Okay, so from here let's just start adding trees throughout the model. This might be a little bit tricky just due to the size. Yep. So what we might want to do is scale our model up, because I didn't account for scale at all. So we're going to just make it bigger. Quite a bit bigger. Okay. This is the problem with working in Rhino, and you're just kind of sketching. Basically, you don't really know what the scale is half the time. But good thing Lumion, we were able to scale it up really quickly. Alright, let's go back to placing some of these trees. So that's a much better size. I might just take it down just a bit more, just so the trees, you can actually read them. Do it one more time. About like that. Let's go back to the trees here. There we go, much better size. Okay, let's just start. Those trees are still big. We're going to try this one more time. This will be it. Make it bigger. Trees. There we go, much better. Okay, the bad part here is we may, I don't know, if we do clusters, I'm kind of afraid it's going to, these trees are either going to go on the, it works out pretty well. I was worried they were going to go in the water, and then we'll have to do a lot of cleanup later. But it looks like they're coming in nicely. Even if they do come in the water, it's fine. We can clean them up. This might be the longest part of this whole image. It's just placing trees everywhere. I don't know if we're going to do any bushes or anything like that. So do a few through here. Just enough to give it some little extra kind of natural texture. Okay, let's zoom around. Okay. As you can imagine, this is going to be more of a aerial kind of shot, unlike what we typically do. Let's put some through here. A couple through here. We'll get some onto this area. It's nice finally working with a light model. Always sometimes they get so heavy. Here we go. Looking great. We only have a few on the ocean floor, so that's fine. Actually surprised we don't have more. Alright, so let's just go ahead and delete those out. Okay, where are they all at? We'll zoom out just a bit. Just take delete. Perfect. So that's looking pretty cool. And let's get a bunch of birds out there since it's in the middle of the ocean there. And do we have any seagulls? Our flying seagulls, there we go. And basically we'll just start kind of placing them randomly. We'll have to lift them up a layer. Lots of birds. Okay, we'll lift them up. I might mess with the grass one more time. I feel like we're kind of losing it a little bit. Alright, we'll lift those up one more time. Looks like the birds are pretty heavy on the model. That's fine. And let's go back to the grass. I want to just be able to read it once we get to the rendering. There we go. Looking good. All right. Let's add a few boats, maybe, or one boat. Maybe a sailboat. Let's have it docking to the model here. Oh shoot, we added too many. Delete those out. Okay. And let's get ready to render. So let's do kind of a realistic thing. Camera, we don't need to mess with that. Let's do precipitation, just so we get some nice kind of fog happening. Okay. And I'm going to sprawl the camera out so we get more of a circular looking model here. And we'll take down the fog just a bit. Might not even be able to use the fog, which is a pity. So let's just delete out the precipitation. Let's add in a sky, or not a sky, a sun. Okay, let's bring that sun height down. Get some nice shadows happening on our landscape. Awesome. Let's disable the real skies for now. Bring the sun height up. Looking pretty good so far. Turn that back on. There we go. Maybe the focal length should be lower. Maybe the sun wasn't a good idea either. Let's try real skies, sunset. be a little bit too dark. Or what? Bring the sun back, maybe. Obviously, this is going to look a lot different once the trees actually all render out. I'll be frank, the water's kind of bothering me a little bit. It's a little bit too, like, turquoise. Okay, let's turn off our real skies. So that's looking better with the water. Let's try rendering it out real quick. See how the trees are starting to look in the scene. So the trees are looking good. It's a little bit dark, so we'll definitely try to brighten that up. But yeah, it's coming. It's gonna get there. All right. And I wonder if we add light around the outside rings. Let's add precipitation back. Get that nice fog rolling through. I'm gonna tone it down just a bit. Let's get the sun a little bit higher, or maybe change the heading. What if we go full, just plan view? Nah, that won't look good. Let's mess with the camera, maybe. This might look really odd. Nope, we're not gonna do that. I am kind of liking that. I'm going to save this view, and then maybe we mess with the focal length, like bring it really crazy. And then let's turn the fog up. What happens if we make it snow? And we'll turn the fog down. Snow actually looks pretty cool. I'm gonna save. We'll save that view just in case. This view actually I like more, I think. What's this one again? Yeah, this view kind of explains a little bit more. What's real skies doing for us? Anything? Nothing. We'll turn that off again. Sun again. Maybe we bring it low, a little bit more dramatic. And then let's go to exposure. We'll bring that up. Awesome. I'm going to change the bronze material to be more of an emissive layer. Go to settings here, make it emissive. That's looking pretty good. Let's add a little bit more. What if we make it just full on day? Quantity and the size down. Okay, we'll go back to sun. If we make it bright, what happens? Nothing good. Bring it really low. just get brighter overall. And we could do it in Photoshop, obviously, but the less Photoshop, the better in my eyes. Kind of liking that for sure. The water's a little blue, but the emissive layer is actually helping it quite a bit. What happens if we go really, really dark? Can't see anything. This might be the best. Let's go ahead and try that out. Override our pre-existing file. I have to zoom out a little bit, get these sides a little bit more equal, and I might zoom out just to get that to be full circle there. But it's looking pretty cool. I think Photoshop's going to help out a lot in this. Zoom out quite a bit. Just not taking full potential of the shadows that we can obtain. Let's try rendering out really dark. So personally, I kind of like this. I think we'll add a few trees through here, and honestly, I think it's ready to go. So it's definitely what we were looking for. So I'm just going to edit within the view here, add some trees. We're doing that tree prior. Add a few through here. Okay. Hit OK. Let's hit that render button, and I think we'll be all set for Photoshop if the lighting is all correct. So we'll give it a second. Yeah, I like it. So I guess we'll head on over to Photoshop next. Alright, so we're here in Photoshop, and let's just go up to image, see if the auto tone helps it out at all. That's going to be a little bit purple, or if that helps. Let's try to do auto color first. I like that. Too much purple on the other one. Let's do an auto contrast. It kind of darkens up everything and kind of neutralizes some of the weird colors. And then I'm going to just use the burn tool, go around and just kind of brighten up some areas. And just overall, I might brighten up the whole scene. Just like that, and that's looking pretty good. I'm going to bring up the contrast just so that fog kind of goes away a little bit. And then I'm just going to brighten up some of the green areas. We could hit Control U. One thing I might do is just hit Control J, duplicate the layer, hit Control U. I'm going to bump up the saturation just so the greens start to really kind of pop. And then I'm going to go around the outside edge and tone down majority of the water. Try to get all that. I think the colors are pretty, but might be a little bit overdoing on everything. And then on the bottom layer, I'm just going to desaturate the water just a bit. It's a little bit overpowering. Then we can just merge these two layers together. And then again, I might just test out the auto color again. See if anything good happens. Auto contrast again. Auto tone, I don't really like. Okay, And then just kind of go through again, brighten some areas up. Awesome. And then as usual, add a vignetting around the edges here. B is a hotkey. This will kind of just make it kind of a darker scene, but it'll look a little bit more cinematic in nature. Okay, I'm just gonna go through and erase the top there, maybe a little bit on the bottom. And then on the bottom here, I'm just gonna kind of dodge out some of the water here. Make it kind of disappear. There we go. That might be a little bit much. There we go. Do this top strip here. Awesome. So I think this is all set. We'll flatten it out. And yeah, please like, subscribe, and we'll be talking soon.